Because my parents grew up Amish, it does not surprise me at all that we ended up here. We started YouTube about 5 or 6 years ago, and it kind of took us by complete surprise. Clint already had camera equipment that he was working with doing independent jobs. And one day, 3-year-old Rachel was like, "Daddy, I really want to do a garden tour." And so he thought it was sweet, and we're like, okay, we'll do this little home video for our own sake. Well, he turned on the camera that day with his full production mode because she wanted that, and we were blown away. Her knowledge of the garden by being with me from being little completely blew us away. That might be how you found us, because that video has grown. It's been used in classrooms for teaching, and we have gotten so many encouraging messages of families saying, because Rachel was in the garden, my kids want to be in the garden with me. And that really sparked something in our family. It really started as just for us to capture some moments and to share with family and friends. The teaching part for me took me by surprise because I love the garden so much for many years. And my husband kind of gave me that nudge of like, hey, you should teach this. And I was a little scared at first, but I followed that nudge and was really blown away at how my teacher heart came alive in that. Not only did I love the garden, but I found that I really loved to help other people understand the garden or to inspire others to garden with their kids, to grow new things. And it just kind of grew from there. When Clint and I first got married, it's a little over 15 years ago, I had this tiny little 4x4 garden in town next to our house. And my mom and my Amish grandmother came over one day and helped me make that area so incredibly cute. If you've seen my concrete bench in my garden videos, that was a gift from my Amish grandmother, and I think of her often when I sit on it. But I was faithful in stewarding that little tiny plot. I put flowers in there, I put a couple pepper plants in there. Well, from there, we moved to Tennessee. And we finally had a yard that I had dreamed about. We bought a house solely based on where can I put a garden? And we started right away. That very first year, we tilled up just a small enough space that I wouldn't get overwhelmed. I really wanted to still enjoy it while also being a young mom. I felt like that little piece of land was what I had to faithfully steward over the years in order to be ready to be here on 6 acres. As we grew together as a family in the joys of taking care of chickens and taking care of gardens, we started to dream a little bigger, and the dream of wanting more land someday really started to take over a lot of our conversations. And we'd drive back roads and we'd dream what it would be like, and we'd watch YouTube videos and dream what it would be like. And so at some point we decided to pursue that. And so we felt a little discouraged. It was about a year of us looking for properties and getting turned down left and right. And you'd fall in love with this property, and then you'd find out you didn't get it. And there were tears from all of us. And our kids were along for the journey too. They cried hot tears, one house that we didn't get. But it all was preparation for here. So in that meantime, we still continued to watch YouTube videos. We continued to talk about what kind of animals we would have on our farm someday, what kind of garden spaces would we do. So we really were just faithful in that season of not getting discouraged, but continuing to learn while we were in waiting. Both of our parents on both sides grew up Amish Mennonite, and so our DNA is laced with generations of farmers and gardeners, and so we are actually the first generation not being Amish. But the role of teaching and leading other people into this way of life took us all by surprise. We all now love to teach. We feel like we're in a process of reclaiming our roots and helping other people reclaim their roots. Even if you don't have Amish heritage, society as a whole has lost something, because not too long ago, most of us can say either our grandparents or our great-grandparents tended the land. They had gardens, they had animals, they knew how to do those things for their family. And then our parents, and not bashing any of our parents, but they grew up in the prime time of America for convenience, and it was easy. And so it took one generation for all of those things to be lost. And so now we're the generation that are like, wait, we want to relearn these things. We want to know these things. We are in the process of reclaiming our roots, and we really want to, as a family, help you reclaim your roots. And that is why we are officially changing our channel name to The Faithful Farmstead. The name Faithful Farmstead came about for a couple different reasons. One is we have always felt the high call to be faithful with the little that's in front of us, and God has been so faithful in our journey. Also, we learned after we moved here that our house is the original farmhouse of the family that owned the farmland in this area. The definition of farmstead means the buildings adjacent to the original farm. And we bought the original farmstead, which would be the house and the barns, the big barn, that was a part of the original 120 acres that used to be here. So that's where the part farmstead comes from in our name. We're really excited to steward this farm and this land because we want to bring it back to what it used to be. It was really overgrown when we moved here and felt slightly abandoned, even though it wasn't. And we're really excited to restore it and reclaim it. Make sure to subscribe because we have so much content coming. We have gardens to prepare, animals we're bringing in. Our first round of chickens are coming in a couple weeks. We have an old barn to clean out, just so many things. So you don't want to miss the journey we're on.